Hey everybody, this is Mara here, founder of FemPower You and Financial Power You, and today I have with me an incredible guest for our show that I'm very excited to introduce you to. But before we do that, I want to remind you that the Mara Show airs live every Wednesday at 11 a.m., and we bring to you experts in personal development, business, and relationships. And you can join us, and the great thing is that all of our shows are archived over at themarashow.com. So when you head over there, you can see all of our past interviews as well as get all of the free gifts from all of our guests. So thank you for joining me here today, and I'm excited to introduce our guest, Cyndie Silbert, who is the founder of Feminine Mastery, and she's putting together an incredible summit called the Love, Money, and Miracles Virtual Summit, and she's here to share a little bit more with us today about that. So welcome to the show, Cyndie.
Thank you, Mara.
I'm so excited to be hanging out with you.
Oh, me too. I absolutely love our conversations.
Me too. So tell me a little bit more about Feminine Mastery. How did you develop that business?
Oh, Feminine Mastery it's absolutely my true calling in life, and it's had a slow evolution that's really come up with a lot of momentum recently. It started, very innocently when I was living between Maui and California. And my life changed so that I couldn't do business consulting anymore. And I thought, well, I've got to do something because I'm that kind of person. And I thought, well, why don't I be a life coach? I've been always great with, communicating with people, supporting them. I love, cheering people on. And that's really how it all began. And now it's evolved more into really a new pathway and paradigm for women. It's not so much about life coaching, but it's really about embracing who you are, where you are, discovering your true and authentic self, and then creating your life as a reflection of that. And then I specialize in helping women find their true calling. So that could be in just their true being, or it could actually be a big calling in life to create a business, create a movement, whatever happens to be unique for that particular person.
Very cool. So when you started developing this, what techniques and pieces did you bring into the picture for you to kind of put together your system?
Yeah, that's a great question. Everything I do is divinely guided, so I'm very intuitive. So I literally, the whole process began with me just opening up my consciousness and awareness to and listening to what there is to teach people. So actually there's a video on my website called The 3 Keys to Feminine Mastery, and the first key is really to awaken to your truth. And that means, there's that illusion that we can live in, which is filled with shoulds and blocked doors and complications and heaviness and anxiety. And then there's the truth that we can access, which is light and joyous. It's infinite. It's more of a reflection of who you really are. Mm-hmm. And so I have many tools within Awakening to Your Truth that help people get started on the path to feminine mastery. And then the 3 keys the 2 keys from there are embodying who you are and then creating your life from your truth.
Okay, so embodying who you are. So first it's finding that truth.
Yeah, awakening to it. Yeah, I use the word awakening because it's really about, the difference in feminine mastery is it's not about finding yourself out in your life. It's about awakening to the truth that's already present within you. So yeah, I use the word awakening.
I like that. So you've been developing this for a number of years as you were going back and forth between Hawaii and California, working with women. What inspired you to move or to step into creating the Love, Money, and Miracles Summit, and how does that tie into Feminine Mastery?
Yeah, that's a great question too. And I'm so excited about Love, Money, and Miracles. It's been a dream of mine forever, even since my early 20s, to kind of dream about, like what you're doing with the Mara Show. I absolutely love it. To dream about interviewing people and bringing their gifts and who they are, to life. That's a big part of my passion. And so, as with everything I do, Love, Money, and Miracles, the idea for it just sort of plopped in my lap and divinely, guided again, just received the idea for it. And I didn't really know what it was. Was it a seminar? Is it a book? Is it, what is this? But what I do know is that many of the women that I work with are kind of stopped in their path with trying to find love, trying to find that, whether it's true love or a better understanding of love, more fulfillment in love, and certainly the money and abundance that they want to pursue their dreams and to live the life of their dreams. And I really do believe there are blocks in those areas, and there's also, you know, and you're part of that solution, you're part of the summit, and there's also secrets to having those breakthroughs of those blocks, aligning with your true and authentic self, raising your vibration, because we are all capable of miracles. So it just was a divinely inspired idea that combined with timing on my path to really put something out there that of tremendous value, and not just my work, but really featuring these other experts, which the interviews are just absolutely off the charts.
So tell us a little bit more about the summit and how it's going to be structured. Are there interviews in those 3 different areas, or how did you kind of take all of those 3 different conversations and put them all together?
What I did was I set my intention to balance the summit with sort of an equal amount of speakers in love, money, and miracles. And it was a really fun process because I reached out to the people I really wanted to interview and let them choose. So they got to choose if they wanted to be a money master, a love master, which sounds kind of funny, or a miracle master. And it was really interesting to me. Some people surprised me in what they chose, and it's all perfect. And so that's what we ended up with, is a variety of speakers on love. So everything from meeting that divine true love to understanding men, to enhance your relationships, to one of my favorites, which was so surprising and exciting, is how to invest in your relationship with your love partner and make more money by doing it. So that was really interesting and fun. And then money is everything from law of attraction to your topic, rewriting your money soundtrack for good, which I love, and millionaire mindset, the soul in money, so really a beautiful variety. And then the miracle speakers are everything from creating miracles through health, creating miracles by finding your divine calling. Amy Ehlers is one of the interviewees, and she talked just about your path and listening to that guidance, and when you truly listen to that divine inspiration, really how miracles begin to unfold. And she told some great stories. So again, I really felt transformed through these interviews, so I can't wait to see what's going to happen for people that end up joining us for the summit.
That's so cool. So tell us a little bit more about how the summit's going to run and how somebody could get involved, and then what they can expect to get. I think probably a lot of the people that are watching the show maybe have never participated in a virtual summit. So tell us a little bit more about the structure.
I'd be happy to. It is available right now. It's required to get free access to these masters and their secrets that you opt in for the summit, which means you go to lovemoneyandmiracles.com, and if it feels like something that's calling to you, then you just enter your name and email. And then on August 25th, the summit launches. And so after August 25th, you'll receive in your email inbox a link to over 21 interviews with these masters. And again, you'll be receiving a variety of interviews on love, money, miracles, and what I was committed to with the summit, which really is delivered in these interviews, is not just people talking about what they do, but truly revealing their own vulnerability, their wisdom. Every single speaker on the path has been through those challenges, those dark times, and have unlocked the secrets to bring in the light, bring in the abundance, and create their dreams. And now each of them is bringing their work to so many people and benefiting people in so many ways. So what people can really expect to get is wisdom, a revealing of the secrets, revealing of the masters in a very personal way, practices, tools, action steps. It's a great combination of inner and outer work. And again, I felt absolutely transformed from the interview, so I know that many other people will be too.
It sounds like it's going to be incredible, and I loved participating and sharing, and I can't wait to hear what everyone else had to say. So you said it's 21 different people, is that correct?
Yeah, there's a little bit, there's a few more than 21.
Okay. Very cool. And tell me a little bit more about, I mean, you work in the area of feminine mastery, so you work with women. However, was the summit specifically geared towards women, or is this going to be a co-ed audience? Who were some of the other people that were interviewed?
Yeah, in general, women are at the forefront of personal development. They're hungry and active, and so I think for myself and a lot of the speakers, women are a primary community member, and also the summit is very much beneficial to men.
Okay.
And that's what I found also with my work, is that I gravitate towards women, women gravitate towards me, but the more I share what feminine mastery is, really living your life from a balance, having your feminine lead, and also honoring the masculine within yourself and in the world, men are just lighting up like fireflies around this topic. It is absolutely extraordinary. They are just like, we love women, we love their femininity, they're brilliant, they're great, and that's what they want from us. They want our lights to shine. They want us to be in our bodies, excited to be who we are, because then they get to share in all of that. And so the summit is very much in the spirit of that as well.
So you said that part of what you teach is how to teach women to allow their feminine to lead. What does that mean exactly? Like, if somebody's here listening to this and they're like, well, I don't even know what that would look like, what are some of the key pieces or indicators that would show that they're leading from that feminine energy?
Oh, I love this question. It's really about, we are women. And so dropping into your authentic self and your feminine essence is really where it all begins, because the world has been masculine dominated in the past, dominated by men. That is quickly changing. We're seeing that in so many instances with the women's empowerment movement. And with that, there's also been that women have had to take on that masculine paradigm. So there's sort of like there can be a harder edge to women that they really don't need anymore. We've needed that to get us to the point where we are today. And so one of the beautiful things that happens with feminine mastery is there's a softening and there's a revealing. And we don't lose our faculty. We don't go crazy when we go into our feminine and open our hearts. It's like, no, we still have those masculine skill sets, the doing, the action, the analyzing, the how to build our businesses, or really make a difference in the world, how to push forward. But we don't need to push so hard. And so leading from your feminine is really dropping into your true being. And then one of the things I do through my mentoring and through my programs is, from that place, building new structures, new mindsets, new practices, new thoughts, really a whole new energetic system to support your life that absolutely creates incredible transformation.
Very cool. So some of the key qualities of leading from your feminine, what would you say those are?
I would say definitely being vulnerable and leading and having your heart open.
Okay.
Demonstrating compassion, incredible listening without judgment. So I think part of the masculine tendency is to always be on defense. It's like the fighting, the warrior, always ready to combat whatever's coming at you. And so leading from your feminine is totally different. There's a lot of trust. And so when we first get used to trying on this new feminine way, it can feel a little scary, and you can feel like, oh my gosh, I'm totally exposed. And once you allow yourself to feel safe in that space and start to see that, wow, I can create my life from being feminine and not being on guard and being true to who I am, and things are really working. So there's a little bit of a muscle and a practice that comes with it, because it really is new to us. Even though we're women and it's more of our natural state of being, and feminine power it's just not forceful. It's receptive. It's being the source of something instead of the force for something is really, I think, a great way to say it.
That's a perfect way to say it. So being the source of something instead of the force of something.
Yes.
Love that. Yeah, I have definitely, I resonate with that conversation around the feminine and the masculine energy, because for the first 30 years of my life, I have really had that perspective of, I've got to make it happen. I could hear myself saying that all the time, and this energy of feeling like I had to push and work all the time and exhaust myself. And so shifting from that into something that's more allowing, more receptive is definitely something that I think is an it's been a conversation for a little while, but I think it's newer in business. And so can you give any practical tips on how do you run a business from that type of energy?
I think that the magic in business is really the combination of the masculine and feminine. And I was just talking about this with, we have a Maui retreat coming up too in October, and I was just talking about this with my co-facilitator, because she's more of a business coach and is out there in the business world. And it's really about being present in your body so that people can feel your essence. You have access to your higher intelligence, your intuition, your creativity. So being present in your body, connected with who you are, and supported with very clear objectives, practices. Your brand is part of your structure in business, so making sure you have a brand and messaging that really reflects who you are, not that's trying to get people's attention or trying to be like your competitors out there, but truly a brand that is more reflective of who you are. And I think this has come up recently for me big time in business, is running it based on your values. So that what's important and what really feels good to you, because people are not going to always agree with you. People, if you're actually, and you know how this is because you are such a trailblazer, Mara, but when you're out in front and creating new conversations and treating people differently, it makes people feel uncomfortable. So again, to really be settled and aligned and centered in your truth, combined with having those really clear mindsets, the thoughts that you believe in, the values that you run your business on, what your contribution is to people everywhere, whether it's an interview like this, a meeting, a client interaction, whatever it is, just being clear on what is your contribution, what do you want to bring to the situation, so that we can leave meetings, we can leave business interactions, we can serve people from our deepest values and truly make a difference no matter what it is we're doing.
Beautifully said. And it's an interesting practice. And one of the things you said while you were talking was this idea of getting back into your body, or embodiment, and being present and allowing people to feel your essence. And for me, over the last 3 years or so, I've been, really the last year, been exploring what does that actually mean to be in my body, because I've always had this perspective that my body was sort of a liability, and if I could just get rid of it, I could get so much more done. And so can you speak to that a little bit, as a woman from that feminine energy, what does it mean really practically to be in your body, and what are some of those practices that we can use to be embodied and to show up that way so that people can really see us?
Again, just such a beautiful question, and what you just shared is a point of vulnerability that I think a lot of us have experienced. It's like we've been taught to shut down our feelings, shut down those sensitive sides of ourselves so that we can get things done. It's like that's exactly what we've had to do, and that's what I believe is causing the women's health challenges. I really do believe that. It's like when you shut down your emotions and your senses, and it happens to men too. I mean, but for women, because we're talking about that specifically right now, is, oh my gosh, it just cuts off your life force. When you're denying that essential part of yourself, the sensitivity, the emotions, you're cutting out your higher intelligence, because all of that leads to intuition and to the higher mind ability to access ideas and bring in innovation. And so the practices that we teach are really, we begin simple with feeling, like what feels like you, what feels like the truth. And then once you end up knowing the difference between non-truth and truth, all of a sudden it opens up this floodgate of guidance, of intuition. And so there's other practices too, which is really more about embodiment, with actually feeling, yourself centered and grounded in your body. Because when we're living from our masculine in our minds, it's like, we're outside of ourselves.
Right.
It's that striving, that forcing, that pushing. And so we really let all that go, and we come back to always knowing how to lock in your energy and knowing how to be present. And it's sort of experiential, because once I've had a lot of women say, oh my gosh, this is the first time I think I've ever been present in my body, or present. And one of the signs is things literally look clearer. You feel lighter. You feel sensual. You feel free. And so those are signs, those are sort of experiences that women start to experience, and we do this process of having them lock it in. And sometimes it's with intention, sometimes it's with an image that they might see, or a feeling or sensation that they might have. Maybe there's a certain part of their body that they're more connected to, so we guide them to go to that place. So everybody's different. We're all so incredibly unique and uniquely wired, and so we try to, through the embodiment process, it's a revealing of these more, I believe, so much more powerful parts of yourself. I mean, we as women, I believe we haven't even begun to tap into our true power. It's all happening now, but just wait and see.
Yeah, I agree completely. There's some exciting stuff on the horizon that's bubbling for sure. So I do want to go back to the summit really quick, just so we can talk about that one more time before we wrap up, so everyone's really clear about how to get involved, and make sure that if it's resonating with you on any level, if love is resonating, money is resonating, or miracles, or you want all three, make sure that you're a part of the summit. So Cyndie, can you give us that information one more time as to how people can go and get that info? And then I've got one other question for you.
Okay. Yeah, if this is resonating with you at all, I mean, if there's any sort of desire or stopping place that you've been at, perhaps a plateau in your life, it's really an opportunity to honor that deeper yearning, that deeper desire, the knowing that you have that your life might look one way, but it's absolutely possible for it to look another way. So even if you've tried everything, or have been let down, or maybe at a tough spot in your life, or just open for new practices and new ideas, then you'll want to first visit lovemoneyandmiracles.com. And there's a video that introduces what the summit's about, very much what we're talking about today, a very short interview, and if it feels right, all you need to do is enter your name and email address, and we'll do the rest. We'll deliver all the interviews right to you.
Perfect. And then is this something that after the promotional period that's going to be available, if somebody's watching this archive, let's say 6 months from now, what's the best way for them to be able to get a hold of you?
The summit does have a stopping point. It finishes right around September 15th. And if they do end up finding this in the archive, the best way to contact me. Some of the interviews might end up on my website and my library of tools and resources that I make available to my community. And I can be found at femininemastery.com.
Perfect. So if you're hearing this in August of 2014, head on over, sign up right now for the Love, Money, and Miracles Virtual Summit. And if you happen to miss it, you can always head over to femininemastery.com to connect with Cyndie. Cyndie, is there anything else that you would like to share? I always like to ask if there's a specific book or quote or something that has spoken to you that you can share with the audience to get them started in the right direction.
I mean, what's coming to me is a Rumi quote, which is interesting because I haven't quoted it in a long time, but it's something like, the universe is in you, ask for all. And that's really what this is about. You are your own universe, and so it's time for you to activate that miraculous side of yourself, the inner power that's just waiting for you to connect with, and live life from your truth, from your desires, and your true being, and just letting the world know that this is who you are, and you're here to stay, and that you're really ready to receive all the money, all the love, all the miracles in your life that you truly deserve.
Beautifully said. And thank you, everybody, for joining us here today on The Mara Show. And you can join us every Wednesday live at 11 a.m. Pacific. And we bring you guests in the area of personal development, business, and relationships. You can head to themarashow.com to our archive page. There's going to be a button right under this interview that you're going to be able to click that will take you right over to the Love, Money, and Miracles Summit page. Go ahead and sign up, get those videos, and get connected with what you want to create in your life in the area of love, money, and miracles. Get open to everything that Cyndie has put together. I know she's put in so many hours for developing this summit. So first, before we wrap up, I do want to honor you and thank you, Cyndie, for taking the time and the initiative to really listen to that intuition that you were given and say, yes, this is something that I'm going to do, and stepping out and creating this. So thank you.
Thank you, Mara, and I'm so glad you're part of the summit. It's just, I can't wait for everybody to share in your genius and everyone else's that's joining us, all the other masters. So thank you so much for having me here today.
Of course, it's been my pleasure, and thank you everyone for joining us for this week's episode of The Mara Show. We'll see you next Wednesday at 11 a.m. Bye.